If I am a prospective client of yours and I intend to have my own in-house digital marketing team, why should I go to you and not have my own setup? So sir, once these acquisitions are done, which are identified, and I understand you have kept a small portion for the unidentified thing, how much is the growth is going to come from organic and inorganic, and which will be the higher part? So one question is regarding the margin expansion. So do you see any margin expansion coming in your business, and from where? हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मुंबई महाराष्ट्र से मैं विष्णु अग्रवाल आपका एक बार फिर से स्वागत करता हूँ। दोस्तों, आज हम आए हैं यप डिजिटल लिमिटेड में, जो कि बहुत जल्द अपना SME IPO लेके आएंगे। हम मिलेंगे कंपनी के चेयरमैन और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर श्री अतुल हेगड़े जी से और जानेंगे उनके बिजनेस के बारे में। इससे पहले कि हम अपना कन्वर्सेशन स्टार्ट करें, दो ज़रूरी बात। पहले तो आप प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए। दूसरा, ये बाय और सेल रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है, हम ये वीडियो सिर्फ इसलिए लाते हैं ताकि आप कंपनी और प्रोमोटर को और अच्छे तरह से जान पाएँ। तो चलिए मिलते हैं अतुल जी से और जानते हैं इनकी कंपनी के बारे में और बिजनेस। हेलो फ्रेंड्स, एज आई सेड, आई हैव विद अस मिस्टर अतुल हेगड़े, चेयरमैन एंड मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर ऑफ यप डिजिटल लिमिटेड. Sir, welcome to Stock Knox and congratulations on your upcoming IPO.
Thank you so much, and welcome to our office in Bombay. I know you guys have come all the way from Kolkata.
Yes, sir.
So welcome again.
Thank you. Pleasure is all ours, sir. So, sir, this we do so that your investors, upcoming investors and the shareholders get to know you more.
Sure.
And they build a trust and conviction on your business, ताकि आपको और बेहतर तरीके से वो virtually जान पाए. So we studied your DRHP and based on that we have few questions.
Sure.
I'll be glad if you can address those, sir. So first, sir, in your business chapter, we studied that you have mentioned yourself as a digital marketing, content and technology service company. Can you please explain us for our viewers, क्या ये तीनों का मतलब क्या है और आप क्या करते हैं?
Yes. So very simply put, we are a digital marketing company, right? But we use tech, data to create content.
Okay.
तो तीन चीज़ हम करते हैं, what we call as the 3Ds: design, discovery, distribution.
ठीक है.
Design, as the word says, is any form of design.
ठीक है.
Right? It could be किसी का YouTube show design करना है, या website we want to design, or we want to design content for social media. But the difference is you use tech, you use data to analyze consumer insights, कौन से markets के लिए कौन सा brand fit है, and then you create your design. Similarly, the next one is discovery, which is basically nothing but influencer marketing.
ठीक है.
Right? And we got into influencer marketing before it became what it is today, 4-5 years back. Right? Today it's a 6,000-7,000 crore industry. Here again, we built a tech layer on top, which actually allows us to analyze data about the influencers and their followers.
Okay.
And we are able to give clients a much more informed choice.
ठीक है.
Last one is distribution. Distribution is primarily paid media, online media buying and planning. So if you want to advertise on Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Meta, X, any of the online platforms, our team does that. यहाँ पे भी we have built a tech layer which is now powered by AI, which helps us better targeting, so that the dollar every client spends is far more valuable for them, and they are being able to go directly to their audience.
ठीक है. So if I can add a question to this, sir. Say if I am a prospective client of yours and I intend to have my own in-house digital marketing team, why should I go to you and not have my own setup?
It's like saying, why do you need to go to an expert for anything, right? Today, with the help of AI and with the help of Chat GPT and so many more things, a lot of things can be done on your own, right? So today, if you are not feeling well, you can put your symptoms on ChatGPT and it tells you.
Absolutely.
But why do you go to a doctor, right? So that's the same thing. You need experts when large stakes are involved, right? So brands which spend hundreds of crores, right? They would rather work with the expert, or sometimes there's a hybrid model also. There are certain things which they would do in-house, certain which they will hire experts for. But this is all we do, right? We don't do anything else. So our expertise is in this, and that's why brands come to us, that to help them to build digital marketing and reach their audience.
ठीक है सर, एक जगह आप ये भी कहते हैं दैट यू इंटीग्रेट डेटा एंड यूज एआई पावर टेक्नोलॉजी. थोड़ा आप बताएंगे कि आप एआई को किस हद तक अपने सिस्टम में यूज करते हैं?
So 3Ds है, design, discovery and distribution. Design, AI is, today is the most used form, right? Where you use AI to create. तो generative AI हम जो बोलते हैं, तो उससे फिल्म बन सकता है, उससे सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट, एनी फॉर्म ऑफ क्रिएटिव, a lot of AI plays there. The difference is, yesterday अगर कल हम अगर 4-5 क्रिएटिव करते थे क्लाइंट के लिए, within the same resources we can now do 10, 15, 20, right? So that's where we are using AI for design. AI in discovery is what I spoke about, which is really building that tech layer for us, which helps us identify a lot more influencers, lot more content creators, and do the long tail.
Okay.
Typically, influencer marketing, if you see, it's 80% of the budget goes to about 500 content creators in India. But today, if the client, there are millions of creators in India. Today, if a client wants to engage with 50,000 creators, you will need a tech platform to do that. Similarly, distribution, which is our paid media, we have now built a layer on top of, say, for example, a YouTube, where you will be able to, because of the AI layer that we built, far better targeting, playlist targeting within a channel. So that's the use of technology across the 3Ds.
So which vertical of these 3Ds fetches you the highest revenue or have the highest margin, if I can ask you?
So they are two different. So when you look at top line, distribution media is where the maximum top line will come. If you look at margins, then design and influencer marketing will be double the margins of a media margin.
Oh, double the margin.
Yes.
Okay.
So so for us it's important that you have a balance of all three. So for top line growth, distribution is good. For bottom line contribution, design and discovery is good.
So where do you see the growth coming in the years ahead?
I think the growth is going to come in discovery and distribution, because that's what's really exploding, which is there. But at the same time, very important to have a strong design culture, because anything you do, any messaging, brand messaging, the design has to be extremely good. So that base will be there, but the growth powered is going to be distribution and discovery.
So far we spoke about the business and we understood the 3Ds that you explained. Now we want a larger picture, sir. Tell us a little bit about the industry and how big is the size?
Sure. So the entire advertising sector in India is about 125,000 crores.
Okay.
Out of which 60% is digital. So we are almost talking about a 75,000 crore market, and this is growing annually, compounding at about 12 to 14%. So it's a massive. So it's nowhere in the world do you have a sector that's growing so fast. Now sizable chunk, and we continue seeing this growth for the next decade or so.
Okay.
So the sector we are playing in is a very robust one.
So, I mean, print media and TV media is the actual competitor for the digital advertisement industry. I mean, will it be correct to say that?
I mean, it was about 7-8 years back.
It is no more.
Today it's no more, because today it's the number one spends category. Everyone, all budgets today are primarily digital. And that's unique what's happening. It's not that, and India is the only market where even print and television is growing. Otherwise, in all other Western markets, it's pretty much degrowing, and television and digital is growing. But here, digital is now overtaken, so I don't see that as competition. And also the consumer. See, why is this happening? You have to understand that India has a very large consumer base on digital.
Yes.
Access is so cheap.
Right.
We are the cheapest data market in the world. And everybody has, I mean, if you look at the mobile data, there's almost 1.5 2 mobile per person in India. So all of this is fueling the growth on digital, and marketing will follow wherever the consumer is.
So we have seen few of the Western countries have come up with the law where they have banned the social media thing for the teenagers up to 15 years. I think Indian government is also contemplating of implementing such. Will that affect your industry or market size?
No, it will not. Initially, there might be some drop in terms of inventories and all of that, but it's not. So you have to understand, with the consumption being so high, This category is at that size even with 60-70% utilization. So 30% inventory is anyway not getting utilized.
Okay.
So with this age group going away from social media, not digital, and digital is beyond social.
So that is different.
Correct. So parts of social media might become smaller, but the overall digital pie will not.
Okay. And with the implementation of AI, do you think the industry is going to grow at a faster pace now?
Absolutely. I think AI is going to do 2-3 things. This is one industry where it's going to have the most positive effect. The creation part, which is use of AI in design, is going to explode exponentially, right? People are going to try newer things. We are already seeing what's happening in China, the kind of films that are coming out. So you're going to see that in the design part. But most importantly, in media, which is media buying and planning, the integration of AI is going to help with the growth. So we see AI as a huge enabler and not something that's going to degrow the sector.
So that is more important. Sir, after the business and the industry, we'll touch upon the financials. Before that, sir, one very important question. How much you are planning to raise and what is the object of the issue, sir?
So overall, it's a little over 80 crores is the size of the issue. 3 broad objectives. Majority of that will be for acquisition. It's an identified acquisition of a company called Gozu. Second, we are building a AI powered studio. Okay, so it's a content studio that's going to be powered by AI. And then the third block is really, working capital plus other corporate expenses, could be unidentified acquisition. So that's really the broad 3 chunks that if I have to say.
Right. So sir, once these acquisitions are done, which are identified, and I understand you have kept a small portion for the unidentified thing, how much is the growth is going to come from organic and inorganic, and which will be the higher part?
I think it's going to be equal because organically, if you look year on year, we have been growing at about 25 to 30%. So that continues to happen. In terms of acquisition, right now it's a 60% acquisition. So we see a small contribution coming from there itself. But our focus really is we are getting ready for the next financial year. This year, primarily, it will be fueled equally between organic and inorganic.
Okay. So can you tell us little about this Gozu thing? What is this? How is going to help you?
Sure. So Gozoop is one of the finest digital marketing companies in India. It's about 15-17 years old, based out of Bombay. So their entire client base is in Bombay, which is good because we are spread through the year, through the country and outside also. So this gives us a heavy concentration of clients in India and particularly in Bombay. They have 2 lines of businesses. One is content creation, which is similar to our first design. And then they have 50% of their revenues comes from their online new age CRM, which is social media, online reputation, and now it is being powered by AI a lot. So 2 diverse sets. What it does is it adds almost about 40-45 new clients to our portfolio, and at the same time they do not have the other 2 Ds, which is discovery and distribution. So we'll now have an opportunity to upsell to their clients on these 2 services.
So a lot of common synergies are there. Sir, one of the object of the issue is about ACP Hub. Can you please tell us a little more?
So that's really the design hub that we want to know, which is led by AI. We've seen how content creation today, AI has changed that. So we want to have a dedicated team. We have already started doing it in bits and parts, but now setting up a studio in Bombay will just help us accelerate that entire process. So this is really for the design part of our business.
Right. So we are trying to cover each and every part, though DRHP is a 500-page document. So now, sir, we'll move to the revenue thing, the numbers, and also some of the risk factors that you have disclosed in the DRHP.
Absolutely.
Friends, we have almost reached to the end of this video conversation. I hope you have liked the video and subscribed the channel. Sir, थोड़ी सी बात हम आपके नंबर्स के बारे में करेंगे. उसके पहले जो डिस्क्लोजर्स आपने रिस्क फैक्टर्स में डाले हैं, एक जगह आपने कहा है कि द टॉप 10 कस्टमर्स कंस्टिट्यूट ऑलमोस्ट 80%, मोर देन 80% ऑफ योर टोटल रेवेन्यू इन द लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर्स. तो ये एक इन्वेस्टर वर्ल्ड में थोड़ा नेगेटिवली देखते हैं, क्योंकि एक क्लाइंट अगर छूट गए तो मेजर रेवेन्यू चला जाता है. तो इसको कैसे डाइवर्सिफाई करने का सोच रहे हैं?
We don't want to diversify.
अच्छा.
Okay, we feel that less number of clients ensures that we are able to grow that client better. We are able to continue the business, and we've also seen the stickiness in the business comes with large clients. So we want to play with large clients. Of course, this year I think that percentage will come down to about 55-60%.
Yeah.
But the strategy has always been not to have 200 clients and then try and small bits,
Okay.
but have large clients. So there's the Adani Group, there's NPCI, there's Del Monte. So large clients who will concentrate more and more of their businesses with us and buy multiple services from us. So that's something that has helped us in the last 10 years, and I don't see that changing dramatically. In fact, I feel that the risk factor of having large number of clients will increase headcount, will decrease efficiencies, all of that. So for us, while I know it's counterintuitive for your investors, but as to build a healthy company, we want to work with large brands.
So you just named few of your prominent clients. कौन से इंडस्ट्री से ज़्यादा क्लाइंट्स है? जैसे हमने देखा BFSI is one of the very, yeah.
So BFSI is where majority of our clients, I think almost 35-36% clients are from BFSI. Then there's FMCG. There's a lot from the startup space because that straddles different categories. Travel and tourism is big for us. Dubai Tourism is one of our largest clients. In fact, we must be among the only Indian companies that they work with. It's the world's largest tourism brand globally.
Yes.
So that's again in tourism. We do a Dubai Tourism. Then we work in the Northeast. We work with Meghalaya government for their tourism. So it's a mixed bag.
So, for the benefit of the users, can you please explain me the customer journey, because they are such huge big clients. एक कस्टमर जर्नी के थ्रू ले चलिए ना.
श्योर. सो एवरीथिंग बिगिंस फ्रॉम डिफाइनिंग ऑब्जेक्टिव्स.
ठीक है.
कि वो ब्रांड का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है.
ठीक है.
किसी का लॉन्च हो सकता है, किसी का एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स में रिटेंशन हो सकता है, किसी का नया मार्केट हो सकता है. सो इट रियली डिपेंड्स ऑन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है. सो लॉट ऑफ टाइम इज स्पेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट पार्ट. It's like the foundation of any structure, right? जितना टाइम वहाँ स्पेंड करोगे उतना you will have longevity with that. So we understand what is it that they're looking for, and then within the 3Ds, what are the services that is most apt for what they are looking for. And that's how we would start with the recommendation, saying that okay, अगर ये आपका objective है, these are your budgets, this is what we would recommend. That is what we call the pre-planning stage. Once we agree on that, then the actual work begins. Now it could be a new advertising campaign, it could be a media campaign, it could be an influencer marketing campaign. So all of that then gets presented. Once you decide on that, then the execution part of it. Once you execute it, it moves into reporting, it moves into planning, so that we know that post-campaign, monitoring, post-campaign, what has happened to it. So that would be a typical journey for a client.
I'm sure आप सर्वे कराते होंगे. And what is the stickability? I mean, churning ratio क्या है in terms of customers?
So we have one of the best retention rates. The company is about 9.5 years old. Average customer is about 5 years, 4.5 to 5 years with us.
That's a good number.
In terms of retention, it's almost 55-60% plus retention, which is there, and that's also one of the reasons why it's concentrated. Because the larger the client, the more time they'll spend with you.
Sir, I saw there are some huge tax implications in the names of the promoters. Can you please let us know, what impact are they going to have in the company?
Okay, so this is basically the tax implications are with the other two promoters, nothing to do with Yaap. And if you see their net worth, the tax implication is very marginal. The numbers look huge, but those are huge conglomerates. So it's a very minor, it has no implication to the Yaap business.
So tell us a little more about the geographical presence. You said you have offices in Dubai and you cater to Dubai tourism. You have office in India, and with the acquisition of the new company, आपका यहाँ पे.
So I'll tell you how we are spread. Majority of the business is still India. In India, in the north we are in Shillong. We are among the few places to have presence in northeast. We are in Gurgaon. We are in Noida. Noida is the tech hub which we have started. Then we are present in Bombay, of course, where we are sitting here today. We have offices in the south, which is Hyderabad. We want to open a Bangalore office very soon. In the Middle East, we are based in Dubai. So Dubai is really our hub. And Singapore, we are present because we acquired Oplify in Southeast Asia. They were based in Singapore. We acquired them about 7 years back. So that's our presence. So across these geographies is what we are present in.
And India is probably the fastest growing जो आपको लग रहा है.
Fastest and the largest. 85% of all business is in India.
Is there any seasonality involved in your business, sir?
Very much. So if you look at the advertising category, it's a very H2 business.
Okay.
Because Diwali से शुरू होता है, IPL में peak होता है. So that's really the advertising belt for India. And for us, since BFSI heavy है, BFSI is a Q4 spender. So if you see suddenly, Feb, March में insurance ads, large, so all BFSI activity happens that. So that's the seasonality that we have.
So वापस ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ द इशू पे एक क्वेश्चन छूट गया था. एक छोटा सा पोर्शन आपने लिखा है कि वर्किंग कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट के लिए भी आपको चाहिए. तो आपके बिजनेस में वेयर इज द नीड फॉर वर्किंग कैपिटल?
So it's for the media business, it's for the last three D, which is distribution, because that's pass-through money, right? So if somebody wants to advertise on Google, okay, it's the money that comes to us and then we pay publishers.
Right.
Typical credit period we have is typically same, so client के साथ 50 to 60%, publisher के पास to 55 to 60 days. Now sometimes there's delay in payment and these are large campaigns. अभी कोई 50 करोड़ का campaign कर रहा है, even 15 crores gets delayed by 15-20 days, you have to still pay Google and Facebook, right? So it's really for the pass-through money.
So out of the total revenue, how much is domestic and international? I think you addressed that.
So almost 85% is domestic.
So what is the biggest moat, if I have to say, sir, in your business?
So couple of things. The first is, every client who wants to work with you wants to see what have you done for other brands.
ठीक है.
ये time से ही कर सकते हैं. So for 10 years now there is sizable work to show clients, right? Second,
so success story को आप मोड बोल रहे हैं.
Very important because clients want to see कि दूसरों के लिए क्या किया है. If they've done BFSI, भी क्यों BFSI concentration, because they've seen that what we have done for other BFSI brands, right? So that's the first thing. Second is the use of tech and data for creation of content, right? So that's very few companies. There are either tech companies or there are creative companies.
Okay.
Very few where both come together. And the 3 Ds, right? So we are not concentrated on one line of service. So it spreads across these 3. So this is very important. The fourth, which is most important in our business, is people. It's a people's business. Most of our senior management is the same from day zero. So retaining people for a longer time, especially with the senior folks, very important because brands want to see that kind of continuity.
So one question is regarding the margin expansion. So do you see any margin expansion coming in your business and from where?
Yes. So if you see in the last 3 years, we have consistently grown our margins. We've moved from almost 7 to 8% EBITDA margins to about 13% currently. Margin will come from efficiency, is going to come from use of tech, right? How are we going to do that? Retention of larger clients, acquisition of larger clients, because then the mandate becomes much bigger. We've been very conscious. So if you look at our size companies, right, in our peers, they would be double our headcount. But because we have been using, tech in a lot of things, our headcount is, always there. So margins will really come from these.
So my penultimate question to you, I may be repeating it again, but since अभी जो माहौल चल रहा है उसमें AI का बार बार पूछने का ये भी करता है. विद दीज एजेंटिक AIs एंड जेन AIs, आपको नहीं लग रहा है आपके बिजनेस में कहीं भी आगे कुछ दिक्कत आएगी, आपको इवॉल्व करने में दिक्कत?
No, in fact, these are real enablers for our business. Like for example, in the design business, the reason we are setting up a AI studio because we feel that creation, where AI is going to play a major role, will actually help accelerate this. It will help us get more customers who previously couldn't afford us, but now because of AI we will be able to deliver and do larger mandates for them. People who could afford us, now we can do quantity for them. So previously if they were doing 100, we can now deliver 500 pieces for them. So that is really going to push the business. So I see AI as a huge enabler, not only for us, for this entire sector.
Correct. So एक मार्जिन एक्सपेंशन भी यहाँ पे क्योंकि कॉस्ट कम हो जाएगा और स्केल अप भी हो जाएगा आपका बिजनेस. लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर, एवरी इन्वेस्टर्स जो इन्वेस्ट करने वाले हैं या जो है, they want to see the larger picture, they want to understand the promoter का क्या vision है. Give us a 5-year vision, where do you see Yaap from here?
Yes, so as I said in the beginning, right, this sector is very unique. 125,000 crore sector. इंडिया में ऐसा और कोई सेक्टर नहीं है which is dominated by foreign players. आप कोई भी सेक्टर ले लो, there are very strong Indian players in that. Advertising communication is the only sector which is dominated by foreign players और ये अब बदलेगा. Next 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, as Indian companies become large, they want to work with more and more Indian homegrown large digital marketing, large communication agencies. Our vision is to build India's largest homegrown communication network, right? And we feel that with Indian brands going global, Indian brands becoming bigger, this is the best opportunity to do that. So that's really what we want to play for.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your time and many best wishes and good wishes for your upcoming IPO. Thank you for joining
Thank you
us.
so much. Thank you again for
Thank you.
you and your team for coming all the way from Kolkata. I hope you guys have a good trip back and thank you for this.
Thank you so much, sir. So दोस्तों ये थे अतुल हेगड़े जी MBBS नोइंग अबाउट हीज कंपनी याप डिजिटल लिमिटेड, जो कि बहुत जल्द IPO लेके आने वाले हैं। आशा करता हूँ आपको इस कंपनी के बारे में और बेहतर तरीके से जानने का मौका मिला। दोस्तों, दिस इज़ नॉट अ बाय और सेल रिकमेंडेशन, ये हम सिर्फ इसलिए लाते ताकि आप कंपनी को अच्छी तरह से जान पाएँ। फिर मिलते हैं एक नई कंपनी से, नई शेयर से, तब तक अलविदा, खुश रहिए, नमस्कार।